If you're trying and not making any progress with your debt payoff, I know exactly what's holding you back. If you want to get out of debt in 36 months or less, you need to avoid these 6 mistakes. I paid off over $35,000 in less than 3 years after graduating college. My story was featured on CNBC, and I went viral as the #1 trending article on Apple News. I have taught thousands of people how to get out of debt. People are getting out of debt within 36 months. Even if you feel trapped, you can turn things around. If they did it, why not you? Why, hello, my yellow groupers. I'm Carly, a finance grad and the creator of Best Money Class Ever, where I teach how to pay off debt in 36 months or less, invest to retire a millionaire, and stress less about money. Grab a seat. I'm about to spill the financial tea. Are you ready for it? Be honest. Have you ever felt stuck in debt and thought, I have tried everything and I'm going to spend the rest of my life paying off this debt? Here's the truth. You don't need to spend the rest of your life paying for the mistakes you made in college or your early 20s or 30s. You can turn things around. I want you to say bye to car loans, student loans, and credit cards. Here is exactly how to get out of debt within 36 months or less. You just need to avoid these mistakes. First mistake, you don't have a why. I'm going to get a little woo-woo on you, but if you want to pay off debt, you do need to start with a reason why. Here's the thing. Money is not numbers. It's psychological. It's behavioral. When it comes down to it, you're overcomplicating personal finance. It's not that difficult. You have your income and you minus your expenses, and that's it. The problem is we set our income plus all available forms of credit to get exactly what we want when we want it. It took you years of overspending to get you exactly where you are right now. You are not going to turn things around without a really good fight. You need a reason to make some changes in your life. What you're doing right now isn't working. You need to do something different, and doing something different is hard. So in order to make a change, you have to find your motivation. You need to get so excited about paying off your debt like Tom Cruise just jumping on a couch. For me, my reason is I studied finance. I graduated conveniently with a finance degree when the entire financial market crashed. I learned the real hard way that things don't go as planned. This was the financial crash, as in like the mortgage crisis of '08. Banks were failing, the stock market tanked, people were filing for foreclosure left and right, and I really craved security, safety, and freedom. Find your why. You gotta get hyped up about this. And here's the part that people miss when it comes to paying off debt. The second mistake is you need to stop chasing credit card points. Your thought process is, I spend money anyways, I might as well put it on this card to get all these special discounts and perks. My credit card has points, frequent flyer miles, and the numbers don't lie. I hate to break it to you, you are not hacking the system. Americans owe over $1 trillion in credit card debt. 47% of credit card users carry a balance. Of those users with a balance spends about $1,600 a year every year in interest, and $12 billion in late fees annually. That's billion with a B. You're not getting anything for free. You're paying for it with your interest. Who cares if you're getting points if you're spending thousands on interest and drowning in debt, stressed all the time? One thing that drives me absolutely crazy is the finfluencers. Right now, you'll pop over in social media and you'll see your favorite influencer on first class, traveling across the world, and they're like, oh, this is how you hack the system. You can travel for free. And you're like, oh, I want to be like them. Here's the part that they're not telling you. Do you know why they're promoting these credit cards? Because they get paid for it. Finfluencers get paid $50 to $200+ for you to just sign up for that credit card. You don't even have to do any transactions on the card. They immediately get paid. You know why credit card companies pay for you to just sign up? Because of the numbers. Statistically speaking, about half of you will be spending $1,600 on interest the upcoming year, and you'll be sucked in for many years to come. You want to know something wild? I just bought round trip tickets to Chicago for $127 total. I wasn't using points. I wasn't using frequent flyer miles. I am just simply financially literate and know how to find legit deals to save money without spending money. Okay? And that's what I want for you. Stop chasing the credit card points. You aren't hacking the system. You're sucked in and you're being taken advantage of. You're going to want to pay attention to this one because this one is costing you big time and you don't even realize it. The next mistake is you're wasting thousands of dollars on interest and you don't even realize it. Here's the thing. If you are currently making only the minimum payment payments on your debt, whether that's high interest credit card debt, low interest car loan, student loan, whatever, you think, oh, hey, it's just 5%. This is good debt. You don't realize how much that is going towards interest. Here's a quick example. Let's take a look at average student loan debt. Let's say you owe about $37,000 on a student loan. You're paying it out over 25 years, the low interest rate of 4.66%. The monthly payment would then be $210. Every single month you're paying the exact same amount. The minimum payment, you think, hey, it's low interest, it's just around inflation. Let's see what happens over the 25 years. Over 25 years with low interest rate, you ultimately end up spending in total $25,829 in interest. And this is only on borrowing $37,000. Every single payment that you're only paying the minimum, there's so much money, even with low rates, that's going to interest. Here's how to find out a back of the napkin estimate of how much you're spending on interest for your debt right now. What I want you to do is take the balance or what you owe and then multiply it by the interest rate. So for example, let's say you have a credit card, you owe $10,000, the interest rate is 24%. You do 10,000 times 0.24, or for you, that would be $2,400 a year you are spending in interest. If you're paying minimums, even with those low interest rates, it's still a trap. You need to stop, especially if you want to get out of debt fast. The next mistake is ruining all of your progress. It is super common sense, but absolutely no one does it. The next mistake is you need to stop taking on new debt. Kind of common sense, right? Like if you want to stop smoking, you need to stop buying the cigarettes. If you want to get out of debt fast, you need to stop adding to your debt load. For example, with your credit cards, if you have thousands that you owe and then every single month you're paying your car insurance and your renter's insurance and you're getting your groceries, you're swiping that card, you are adding on to your debt load. If you want to get out of debt, you need to stop making new transactions on your credit card or for any debt that comes up. Who cares if it's zero down, zero interest, one low monthly payment? If you're taking out $3,000 for furniture, you are adding to your debt load. I like to keep it simple. My secret hack is to switch everything to debit card. You're not going to get an affiliate link from me. I'm not going to get any money from this. You're just going to get out of debt fast because I want you to. Switch to debit card. And for my day-to-day expenses, I literally take a set amount of cash out and make it last for the week. So if you want to get out of debt fast, switch to cash. Personally, I take out $120 a week every Friday and I get my necessities first. Groceries, gas for my car, and then other day-to-day expenses like a new shirt or running errands, household items, small gifts, entertainment. If you do that, you're gonna get out of debt really fast. The next one is a little bit of a tough love. If you want to get out of debt, the fifth mistake you're making is you don't have a deadline. You say, oh, I want to pay off my debt. But when? When are you going to do it? How fast are you going to do it? Without a timeline, there is no urgency. You're probably just making the minimums. Maybe some months, if there's money left over at the end of the month, oh, I'll throw a couple hundred extra here if I can. No, you don't have the structure. You don't have the finish line. If you want to pay off debt within 36 months, you literally need to just see exactly what it takes to do that. A psychology lesson is the Parkinson's law. This is a theory and it says that your work or task expands to the amount of time that you give it. So for example, if you're like, oh, I'm really trying to pay off debt, but I'm probably just going to have it for the rest of my life, then you probably will have your debt for the rest of your life. However, if you're like, I'm going to pay off my debt within 36 months, let me see what I need to do to make that happen, then you'll do it. And when you have that deadline, you'll increase your efficiency, your focus. The reason I teach my students to pay everything off within 36 months or less is because there are going to be sacrifices that you're going to have to make along the way. And it's a lot easier to do if you have a clear end in mind. 36 months is totally attainable for most people to pay off all of their debt, excluding a mortgage. Amazing things happen when you have a plan with a deadline. I want you to push it. Push it real good. Dun, 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 dun. And I like for my students to see exactly what it takes to do that. I personally, because I like that deadline, created a debt calculator, which leads me to the next mistake that you need to avoid making. The last mistake you need to avoid is you don't actually know your numbers. If you want to pay off all of your debt as fast as possible, but you don't know exactly how much you owe, what's the deal? It ain't gonna happen. If you want to pay off debt fast, you need to know exactly where you stand with your debt. And I get it, it's kind of painful. It's a lot easier to have like this head in the ground ostrich approach. But if you want to pay off debt fast, you need to know 3 things. You need to know the amount that you owe on all of your debt, your monthly minimum payments, and your interest rates. If you don't know your total debt, your interest rates, your minimum payments, you don't have a debt payoff plan. You just have anxiety. If you really want to get out of debt, you really have to know exactly where you stand and what it takes for you to pay it off. You can jot down your numbers and list out each of your debts, all of the minimum, plus all of your interest rates. The method that I like to use is called the Spartan method, where you pay at least $300 or more to the highest interest debt. Once the highest interest debt is paid, you'll take that old debt minimums plus that extra Spartan amount and go on towards the next highest interest debt, so on and so forth until you are debt free. I want you to get very, very specific and see exactly what it'll take. And so that's why I created my special calculator. For some people, doing $300 extra will do the trick. Other people, you're gonna have to pay $500, $1,000, maybe even $2,000 or more. In some cases, you might actually have 6-figure debt. In theory, you would have a higher income to support that. So if you got your MBA, for example, or medical school, law school, in theory, you could pay significantly more than $300 extra. I believe that you can pay off your debt in 36 months or less. You just need to avoid making these mistakes. As a quick recap, you do need to have a clear reason why. It's gonna be hard, it's not gonna be easy, so find your motivation. Next, you really need to stop chasing those credit card points. It's not worth it. It's not hack. Just learn actual financial literacy. Spending money to save money is not really saving money, okay? You're not beating the system. And then stop taking on new debt. I really recommend switching, especially if you have credit card debt, to a debit card, and then literally using cash for your day-to-day purchases to guarantee you're only spending money that you actually have. Stop wasting money on interest. If you want to pay off debt, you need to put your money to work. And by paying only the minimums, a lot of it's just going to interest. So pay more. And I recommend paying a set amount of $300 or more each and every month to your debt. Next mistake is you don't actually know your numbers. This is your sign. Get crystal clear on exactly where you stand. When you know where you are, then you can do something about it. And lastly, you need to have a deadline. I recommend paying everything off within the 36 months. If you want to see exactly what it takes for you to pay off your debt within 36 months or less, you can grab my financial day planner spreadsheet, and the debt calculator is included. Or if you want to work with me, Best Money Class Ever opens soon. If you want in, I can be your money coach for the next month. More details to come. Thank you so much, my yellow groupers, for listening. Every show has a dope name that they call their listeners. I am calling you my yellow groupers. We have slow starts. We get behind. The cards are stacked against us. The hands we are dealt are not ideal. We get knocked down. We get off course. But that is where our grit is born. We don't ever give up. I am here to hype you up. Now it's time for a Best Money Class Ever money win. And this one is a good one. This is about debt payoff and deadlines. I had a student. He paid off $8,255 in 4 months. $2,283 was credit card and $5,972 was the car loan. This was big progress in a short time. This was done by paying $2,000 extra to the debt. Here is what he had to say. If I didn't have that deadline, I would not have been successful. The deadline was extremely helpful. It helped me learn not just about financial goals, but goals, period. If he did it, why not you? You can turn things around too. You just need a plan with a deadline. If you've been meaning to get your finances in order, now's the time, and this is the best place to start. Here, you'll overcome analysis paralysis with the finance plan. This is the roadmap that you've been looking for to pay off debt and retire a millionaire, even if you have no idea where to start and you're living paycheck to paycheck. I am really curious and would love to hear from you. How fast do you plan on getting out of debt? Let me know your strategies. Spill your financial tea in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify. Did you like this video? If so, like it and share it with your friends who also geek out over personal finance. Leave me a 5-star review wherever you're listening. It really helps others who are on a mission to pay off debt and invest find this show. Best Money Class Ever, my signature live and virtual 4-week personal finance class, is only available available once a quarter, and class is starting soon. You want in? You, for a limited time, can take the intro to class for free. Head on over to bestmoneyclassever.com or the link below to save your spot. You'll instantly get a free 20-page downloadable guide with the finance plan. As always, remember, you only live once. Be smart with your money now. I'll catch you later. Bye.